Hi everybody, my name is Drew Phelps. I'm running for Assembly District 26 to represent us in Sacramento. This district includes pretty much all of Tulare County, a little bit of Kern County right around Lake Isabella, and all of Inyo County. So really running to get us better representation in Sacramento. As somebody who's fourth generation from Tulare, spent some time working in Sacramento, spent some time working for local nonprofits as well as out in the private sector. Have a lot of experience combining the public and the private sector to be an effective representative and get things done. So that's what I'm doing right now, but today I am here to show you all how to cook some special spaghetti bolognese. This is a much easier recipe than you usually see with a spaghetti bolognese. That's a little bit more complicated, but we have a lot of working folks here in the district, and I know I myself really, when I get home from the campaign trail and don't have much time in the evening, I like to cook this up for myself and my fiance. It's kind of a nice little treat. So this is what we got. We have really one of the keys of the recipe. We have some San Marzano tomatoes. These are whole. You can get them whole or pre-smashed, whatever works best. We will be smashing them today. Have some fresh basil and some garlic as well. We mashed that up and cut it up before filming, as well as some nice salt and pepper mix. We have some red pepper flakes, red chili pepper. I like mine a little bit spicier, so I added a little bit extra than the recipe calls for, but you can do whatever your palate calls for. Have some nutmeg here as well, and some oregano, using a little bit of tomato paste for a little bit of that extra tomato flavor. And one of the most important parts as well, we have some ground beef that we're going to be using and cooking up. So along with that, we also have over here some pasta. I'm using spaghetti. You can use whatever kind of pasta works best for you. Have some Parmesan for the end, and a little bit of half and half cream, because it never hurts any sort of pasta dish. So that's what we're going to be cooking with today, and really excited to get started. We put the olive oil in the pan, getting it ready, and then we are going to be heating it up. It's going to be on medium-high heat. That's what you want to get your ground beef nice and brown. For this recipe, using about a pound of ground beef. Then you're going to want to break it up with your spoon so it can cook a little more evenly. And you're going to want to cook this for about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how things are looking. Once I get it broken up, I'm going to start mashing these tomatoes up so we can let this cook for a little while once it's been chopped up. Alright, now I'll get to smashing these potatoes up. Or tomatoes, I should say. A little bit squishy. I like mine to be a little bit chunky, so I'm not gonna smash it into a real fine sauce, but you can do whatever fits your taste. Alright, so let that go for a little bit more. Take a look at our tomatoes here. You can see it's mostly a sauce now. Like I said, a few chunks here and there. I see a couple I need to get out, actually, a little bit too big. Go back to it. This is cooking up nicely. Now that the meat has cooked for about 5 minutes, we are going to add in our garlic. Get that in there. And then along with that, we'll be adding in our red pepper flakes. Get all that mixed up. Some oregano. Along with the salt and pepper. Now we're going to let all that flavor come together for just about a minute, not too long. So then after cooking for about a minute like this, we want to lower the heat down to a simmer, and we are going to add in our tomatoes. Also want to get that tomato paste. We want to add about 2 tablespoons of that. There we go. like I said, it adds that little extra bit of tomato flavor, so it's nice to have. We want to bring it to a boil to cook some of that off, that extra liquid. So we'll turn the heat back up. It's good to turn it down in between though, so you don't want to overcook anything while you're adding in your ingredients. Alright, so now that we've gotten a lot of our extra juices and liquids boiled off, we will proceed to add in our last ingredients. In the meantime, we boiled some pasta that is sitting in the sink waiting to be added. So we will add in now our fresh basil, add that to the mix. Get our little bit of nutmeg in there for just that little bit of extra flavor. Sprinkle it all around. It's a flavor that goes really well with tomatoes, so I always like to add it in. And at this point, though you can't smell it through the camera, it will be smelling very good, especially because of that basil. Right now we're on medium heat to keep some of that liquid still coming off. We want to get that done so our pasta doesn't get too cold in the meantime. And we're going to leave it like this for about a minute so those flavors can mix together and we can get those liquids boiled off. And then once that is done, we will add it all together in with the pasta. Alright, well, we have pretty much gotten everything boiled off. It is mixed together nicely, looking like a very nice rich sauce. Oh, and then actually one thing that I forgot to add in, but you can add it in anytime, especially since we still have a little bit to boil off, is a nice little bit of cream. So we'll throw that in there, make it a little bit richer. Which it's already a pretty rich pasta dish, so if you don't want to include that step, you can definitely do without it. I like to add it in because it's a nice balance for the spiciness with the red pepper flakes. Just let it thicken up a little tiny bit more, and then we will be good. It's looking good, so we will now turn the stove off. And we got our nice big bowl here with the pasta already included, so we will go ahead and dump this sauce into the bowl. You just got to toss it all together. So you probably want your spaghetti strainer, spaghetti spoon, to be able to mix that up together. And then for the last step, we will be adding in just some Parmesan for the topping. I like to add a little bit in before you serve it and after, so while it's still a little bit warm, you can get it nice and melted in there, get it mixed in. I personally love cheese, I don't know who doesn't, but we will get that added, get it nice and a little bit melty in there as we mix it up a little bit more. And now we will serve it up. Pasta in there, get a little bit of that extra sauce on top. A little bit more. And then, like I said, once it's all served up, add a little bit of extra Parmesan. And if you want, you can add some parsley, a little bit more fresh basil. I added all mine in at the beginning, but you can add some in now. And there you go, you get a nice fresh spaghetti bolognese. My last message to you all is get out and vote. Most of you, if not all of you, should have received your mail-in ballots by now. If you're not registered to vote, you can still do that. We still have time to go ahead and get out and get registered. If you do have your ballot, take it to the nearest mailing center, take it to the drop-off point, which your county registrar should have posted clearly on the website here in Tulare County. It's at the office on South Mooney. And for those folks who are going to the polls, get out there on November 3rd. We're looking for a big turnout this year. Tulare County doesn't do too well normally, and so it'd be great to get everybody out. It's a really important year to vote, so make your voice heard everywhere from the top of the ballot to those local elections. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in.